or 90 or somewhere in between. Remember the words from the great philosopher Roger Rabbit that a laugh is a very powerful thing. Sometimes in life, it's the only weapon we've got. And in my opinion, if we can all laugh together, we certainly can live together. Never forget, regardless of the situation, you're never too old and you're never too young to laugh your past off. Back to you, our great MC Gene.
Woohoo! Give it up for Two Tone. Woohoo! How awesome was that? Oh my goodness. Two Tone, you are in the house, large and in charge tonight. And this is only the beginning. Oh my gosh, we have three more mask speakers to come. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you taking notes? Are there some clues that you're picking up on? And are you figuring out who might your favorite be? Because you'll be voting soon. Our next speaker for tonight is so sweet. So very sweet. Our next speaker is so sweet that the stage name is Sweet Cheeks. Sweet Cheeks is in the house tonight with a presentation entitled My Parents Are Besties. Sweet Cheeks, are you ready to go?
I am ready, sweet as can
Great.
be.
Great, let's give it up. Sweet Cheeks, My Parents Are Besties. Take it away.
Thank you very much. Let me tell you the story about my parents. When I think about my parents' relationship, I'm reminded of the Colby Calais song, Lucky. The song opens with, Lucky I'm in love with my best friend. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our most welcome guests, my parents are definite best friends. Let me tell you the story about the most epic prank that my dad played on my mom. I know we're past the April Fool's Day, but this story was just too juicy to pass up. My mother has retired. Ever since retiring, she has absolutely no concept of what day it is, what time it is, what week it is, what holiday is coming up. She doesn't have to look at a calendar anymore. Well, my father took this into consideration as he was planning the most sinister April Fool's joke. My mom calls me and tells me this entire story. Here's what happened. My dad was still working. He left to go to his job. He was acting very strangely before he left for work that day. Once he got there, he called the house. My mother picked up and he said to her, "There's an envelope for you on the dining room table." And he hung up the phone completely abruptly. My mother was perplexed. She went to the dining room table, sorted through the other envelopes until she found the big white one. She turned it over, and in big red letters were the words, "Divorce papers." What? My mother thought. My parents have been together for over 40 years. Why in the world would my dad want a divorce now? After my mother caught her breath, she said, "Okay, well, if that's how he feels, let me open this envelope and see what's going on." She opens the envelope, takes a look at the contents of said envelope, And my father, along with our travel agents, have put together a 10-day cruise throughout all of Hawaii's islands. My mother was completely taken aback. She calls my dad back. He can't stop laughing. My mother then calls the travel agents. She can't stop laughing. She was in on the whole thing. My mother calls me to tell me this story. And the first thing out of my mouth, as soon as she said, I saw an envelope that said divorce papers, I immediately shouted, please tell me this is an April Fool's joke. And she goes, oh, so you knew it was April Fool's Day? Of course, Mom, I knew it was April Fool's Day. I had an exam just now. I know what day it is. My parents absolutely love to travel together, as I mentioned in that story. Not only have they been to Hawaii, they've been to pretty much every other state, whether it's been a cruise, whether it's been a road trip. They've been everywhere, also in Latin American countries too. And they're absolutely adorable when they travel because wherever they go, they wear matching t-shirts from the previous trip so that when they're talking to the other people, the people ask, oh, so you've been to Alaska? Yes, we have been to Alaska. We did a 7-day cruise there. Oh, you've been to Costa Rica? Yes, we've been to Costa Rica. We did a cruise there. They purposely match each other so that they can start conversations with the other people around them. They also have plenty of common interests. Even after 40 years together, my parents will still sit and talk to each other as though they haven't seen each other in years. They live together, and now that both of my parents are retired, they have nothing else to do but sit and talk to each other. And they have so much in common that the conversation never stops. It's absolutely adorable. However, my parents are also complete opposites of each other. My father is the outgoing, talkative one. I wonder where I got that from. My mother, on the other hand, is very quiet, very reserved, doesn't like meeting new people, and never wants to be the center of attention. Anytime we have to celebrate her, we have to trick her into doing so because she hates being the center of attention. My father, on the other hand, always volunteers to do stuff, is always meeting people, and can strike up a conversation with anyone, anywhere, anytime. My parents really are in love with each other, and they really are the best friends. I am hopeful that one day I can follow in their footsteps and have the type of relationship that they have. And one day I'll be lucky enough to be in love with my best friend too. Back to Eugene.
Give it up. Was that just sweet, sweet, sweet from Sweet Cheeks? What an adorable story, and what an adorable costume. You see those donuts on her head? Oh my goodness, how sweet could it be? From Sweet Cheeks, we move to our next speaker, and I'm excited about this one as well. Our next speaker, that green dude from around the way. Green dude in the house, are you ready? Oh my goodness, I see green dude from around the way. And green dude will be presenting beautifully bodacious boxes. Beautifully bodacious boxes. That green dude from around the way. Take it away. Give it up.
Good evening, Toastmasters. After my performance last week, which was a bit lighthearted, I decided I had to move in an opposite direction with this week's presentation. I debated long and hard over what to speak about. Should I choose the duality of man? Should I discuss the writings of Thoreau and Emerson? Should we discuss the possibilities of the afterlife? These all seem to be great topics, but instead, I chose to speak about boxes. Allow me to explain. When I was a junior in high school, I had the very great privilege of taking debate class from a wonderful instructor named Judy Ney, one of the most profound educators that has ever crossed my path. And in debate class, she promoted many of the same types of skills that Toastmasters will promote. One day, we had an improvisational period where she gave us each a random topic, and we had what she referred to as the challenge. Each individual in the class took their turn at the podium, received their random topic at that moment, similar to table topics, and had to speak for as long as they could without saying the word or any other filler word. As high school students, this was very challenging. And for many of my classmates, the first word out of their mouths was, end of speech. I was given the topic of boxes, and I was able to win the challenge by speaking for almost 3 minutes without saying and discussing boxes. So I thought, let's talk about boxes tonight. But still, why boxes? Well, there are 2 reasons that I want to share with this evening. First of all, as many of you have probably experienced during the horrific COVID times that we are living in, deliveries from Amazon have proven to be a bit of a high point in some of the drama that we have experienced. I order from Amazon quite frequently, and other places as well. Now, I do want to make it clear, I am not some random shopper. These are purchases I actually do need to make, products that I want to have in my home, that are a part of my daily life, shipments that are necessary and vital for my family. But I have to admit that after I place the order, I'm not so much looking forward to the items inside the box as I am the boxes themselves. For reasons I just can't put a finger on, I happen to enjoy the sight of numerous boxes being delivered to my home. Or occasionally, if I'm not there to receive them directly, coming home and pulling into the driveway to see this stack of boxes outside the door. It makes me feel like royalty. I don't know why. Perhaps I should get some type of counseling for this situation, but regardless of the reason, it happens to be very enjoyable for me. To the point that my FedEx driver and I are on very good terms. Comes to be that Joe happens to enjoy some of the same music that I do and take some of the same fitness related products. It's always a great pleasure when Joe brings me my many boxes. Not only do I look forward to the box delivery, but so do my children, which brings me to the second point that I must share in regards to boxes. Many of you who have children may have experienced a holiday season or an upcoming birthday where you have labored intensely to find that much sought after present. Maybe it was a Tickle Me Elmo or a Beanie Baby or a Patch Kid, some hot commodity that you just can't seem to find on the retail shelves because it is constantly sold out. So you scour the internet, you go to eBay, you go to Amazon, you go to ricsuncles.com and try to find this item however you can. And upon successful completion of the task and ordering of the item and careful hiding of the item so your children don't discover it, and wrapping the item thoroughly and presenting it for them on the special occasion and watching with great anticipation as they unwrap it, they are more excited about the box than the item it came in. They want to play in the box. They want to turn the box into a clubhouse. They want to camp in the box. They want to treat the box as a pet. They cry when you throw out the box. But the item that you spent so many hours, so much blood, sweat, and tears is not nearly as important as the box itself. A very curious thing, and apparently in my case, it extends even into adulthood. I do try to be conscious of the earth. I recycle. I make sure to minimize my carbon consumption, but I have to admit, I am also conflicted when it comes to the final checkout page of Amazon, when you have the option of getting the delivery in the fewest amount of boxes, or the order that just happens to get them there in the fastest possible way per item. It is so difficult choosing to discard the additional boxes for the sake of Mother Earth. But rest assured, I always do the right thing and take the minimal amount of box delivery. I have to believe that this fascination with boxes resonates with some of you as well. The child author Adam Rex once said, "There is a little bit of magic in every box." And so, if you look carefully, I am sure that you will also find the cuteness of cardboard, the reward of the rectangle, the beauty of bodacious boxes. Back to you, Gene.
Awesome. Absolutely fabulous. Talk about thinking outside the box. Give it up, folks. Give it up, folks, for that green guy. Woohoo! That checked all of the boxes tonight. Check, check, check. Oh my goodness. We are already at the point in time when we're ready for our last masked speaker of the night. Oh, have you ever been in a meeting when you just didn't want it to end? I know I've been in a few that I wish would end. This isn't one of them. Keep up those guesses, keep watching for clues, and keep thinking about who your favorite speaker is. We will be launching the poll after our last speaker finishes their presentation. And our last speaker actually ties back in I think, an unplanned way about a reference from our first speaker about hot dogs. Our last speaker tonight is Puffy. Puffy, and the winner is I Want to Be Like My Hero. Have you ever won an eating contest? Puffy has, and it was no ordinary contest. Get ready, folks. Give it up for Puffy's in the house tonight. And the winner is, woohoo! Take it away, Puffy.
All righty. My hero is Joey Chestnut. Well, if you don't know who he is, Joey is the world champion at the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest held every July 4th. He can eat over 75 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes. And you can see him just over my shoulder right there. That's Joey. He's my hero. Well, I also am a food eating contest winner. Let me tell you about it. I am a county fair eating champion. Now, I know county fair is not as big as Joey's contest, but it meant a lot to me. And this was at a Wisconsin county fair. And I can't tell you which county it was because that might give you a clue as to who I am. But what is Wisconsin famous for? Why, cheese, of course. And yes, this was a cheese eating contest. Woo-hoo! This contest always has a surprise element. And this was being my first time to enter. I didn't know what to expect. There were just 3 of us on the stage to compete. Now, to my right was a guy that weighed about 400 pounds. and I'm just going to call him Ham because he looked like a ham. And then to my left was just this really little bitty petite girl, and I'm just going to call her Susie Q. And I'm thinking, holy crap, she can't eat very much because she probably doesn't weigh 100 pounds dripping wet. We all knew that today we would be eating cheese curds. Oh, those are so yummy. And now the judges are going to reveal the surprise at this contest. Along with the cheese curds, you have to wash them down with something to drink. Well, the surprise today was it wasn't water. We have to drink sauerkraut juice. Sauerkraut juice to go along with our cheese curds. We were all given plates, and each plate had 25 cheese curds on them, and the judges would count how many plates we could eat. At the sound of a whistle from the judge, we began the contest. I started eating the cheese curds as fast as I could, and they really tasted pretty good. I really kind of liked them, but I had to sip something once in a while, and let me tell you something, that sauerkraut juice just wasn't doing very good going with these cheese curds. Well, I think we know what's coming. Yeah, I think we know. But I wanted to make a good show. I think we knew who was going to win this contest. I look over and Ham, he's already gone through about 8 plates. 8 whole plates of cheese curds. I haven't even finished my first plate. And then I look over at Susie Q. And Susie Q, she's already on her 4th plate. And I'm thinking, where in the world is that little bitty girl putting all these cheese curds? So anyway, I thought, okay, I'll just keep going. I'll make as good a showing as I can. Well, at about the 6 or 7 minute mark, I'm not really sure when it was, Ham kind of leaned back from the table and he started rubbing his belly. And he stopped eating. And the judges all looked at each other and they all started running and they all screamed. And he lowered his head and he let out the loudest burp I believe I have ever heard in my life. It was louder than a train whistle. Well, it was so loud, little Susie Q, it scared her and she kind of spit up a little bit. And she had a cheese curd kind of sticking out her nose there. And it was stuck in her nose. And so immediately, poor little Susie Q, she's disqualified because when you eat this stuff, you can't allow any of it to come back up. So Susie Q is disqualified. Now it's just me and Ham. Well, Ham looks over at Susie Q and he busts out laughing. And when he busts out laughing, he spit up some of his sauerkraut juice. Well, poor Ham, he got disqualified. I'm the only one left in the contest. So I won by default. I leaned over to Ham and I said, you know, buddy, we all know who the true winner of this contest was, and that was going to be you. And he said, oh, that's okay. He said, I've won this thing for the last 5 years. He says, it was worth it just watching what Susie Q did. And I looked over and there's 2 judges trying to help pull one of those cheese curds out of her nose. But I am a county fair cheese curd winning champion, Madam Toastmaster.
Oh my word, I don't even know what to say after that one. Oh my goodness, there were moments when I felt sick and moments when I just could not even imagine. Cheese curds up your nose. We've heard it all tonight. We have heard it all tonight. Poor Susie Q. All right. Well, thank you very much, Puffy, which I should probably clarify. Last week we had a Fluffy, and Fluffy and Puffy are not related as far as I know. But hey, it's an evening of surprises. It's an event of surprises. So who knows? I hope our studio audience, our Toastmasters, have been taking great notes, and I'm betting that they have favorites. Are we ready to launch the poll for this evening? Dun, 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 dun. Vote for your favorite masked speaker. Remember, our top two will move on. Keep those votes coming in. All right, last call on votes. Everyone have their votes in? Who's your fave? Numbers are close.
We have 6 people that haven't voted yet. If you haven't voted yet, now's your time.
Awesome. I know it's really hard to decide. They were all fantastic tonight.
All right, we're going to be closing polling in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Close it up. And we are closing it up. All right. And if you'd like, take some guesses in the chat on who you think our top 2 winners will be. Woohoo! All right. Our top 2 vote getters. Is there a drum roll, maybe? A drum roll, please. Maybe we don't have a drum roll. We are going to announce the winners tonight, and I am very excited. It was very close, tight competition tonight. Our top 2 vote getters. Let's start with number 2. Number 2, believe it or not, was Two Tone. Give it up for Two Tone, placing in the top 2 for tonight. Woohoo! And our number 1 vote getter for tonight is, drum roll, our number 2, also advancing automatically to next week, none other than Puffy! Woohoo! Awesome! But the night is not over. It's still young. For our 2 other masked speakers, I'm going to ask that they be spotlighted, and I'm going to be asking some questions. those questions hopefully will reveal some clues for you. And you, studio audience, will be entering into the chat who you think they are. So the two that we will be interviewing for tonight, Sweet Cheeks and that green dude. Can you remember your clues from their speeches? Let's see if we can reveal just a little bit more about our speakers for tonight. Fantastic job to both of you. Great job. Our studio audience is going to try to identify who you are. And Scott and Lori are going to help out and monitor the chat, and we'll be announcing that. Remember, one of you will move on for next week, the other will not, but all of our masked speakers will be back for the fourth version of Masked Speaker. Woohoo! So we all get to see them again. All right, let's start with that green guy. That green guy. What an interesting speech tonight. Could you tell us how long you have been in Toastmasters?
I don't know, but
Ooh.
it has been less than 5 years. I think it's been 4, but it's either been 3 or 4, but I cannot remember.
Okay. All right. Keeping it, mixing it up, so we're really not sure. But under 5 years. All right. Sweet Cheeks, how many years have you been in Toastmasters? 5. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got the hand motion going on there. Very cool. Not even revealing the voice right now. That's pretty sly. Great job. Next question. Do you remember how many or filler words that you had in your very first icebreaker speech? Green guy.
Although I do not remember specifically, I feel very confident in my general lack of filler words, and therefore I am going to say 0.
0. Excellent. Sweet Cheeks, how about you?
I agree with Green Guy. In my icebreaker speech, I never had any traditional filler words. I was told by my mentor later on in my Toastmasters journey that in my effort to stop saying so, I started saying therefore. Therefore ended up being my filler word. Even though it's not a traditional one, it's my own personal one.
Excellent. Okay. I'll share a quick story about my filler words. When I first started Toastmasters, and mine was about 5 years ago as well, there was a veteran Toastmaster in my home club who was a little gruff. But he had a huge heart and really wanted people to improve and do better and be their best selves. I was struggling with filler words. And my friend came up to me after a speech and said, Gina, I can help you eliminate your filler words. Great. Tell me more. Just shut up. But you know, it came from a place of love and it worked. He's right. Just shut up. Anyway, that doesn't help us reveal. Let's get back to you guys. Let's see. We heard a little bit about families in your speeches. There were some clues there. Green guy, tell us one thing about your family that we may not know.
I have enough kids to fill a starting hockey lineup with one on the bench.
I love it. Fantastic. Sweet Cheeks, tell us a little something about your family that we may not know.
Something you might not know about me is going back to my parents. My mother is the oldest of 6 children. My father is the oldest of 9. Every time we have a family reunion, there's another first cousin once removed that I haven't met yet. Here's the irony. I'm an only child. When they got together, they said, we're doing this one time and one time only. That is it.
Oh, that's great. All right. Are you folks out there, our studio audience, have we figured out who one or both of our masked speakers are? Do we need a little music right now? This is your chance, audience. Type in your guesses. Awesome. We had some great guesses tonight. The most guesses that were correct. Drum roll, please. They're on to you, Sweet Cheeks. Take off the mask and reveal who you are. Oh! Janae Bryant, great job tonight. Very sweet. Love the costume. And Green Guy, we'll see you next week. Along with Puffy and along with Two Tone. And remember, our last evening together, we get to see everyone back again. Fantastic job tonight, everybody. Woo-hoo! Any closing remarks from anyone else? It's been a fantastic night. Love the creativity, love the magic, love all that went into each and every one of the speeches. Fantastic job. Congratulations.
I just wanted to say thank you really quick to the little girl who loved my costume last week and loved my costume this week. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate you.
Oh, very sweet. Very sweet. Remember for next week, next Thursday, same time, same Zoom link, and same amount of creativity and fun. Invite your friends, invite your fellow Toastmasters, invite your family. This is a great way to spend some time together and just enjoy each other and all the fun that we can have together. Well done to everyone. Thank you, Lori, for being our Zoom master tonight and doing such a great job keeping us on track. And great job, Scott, for just coming up with this fantastic idea and infusing some fun into our days, our evenings, our Thursdays.
And can we all give it up for our MC tonight? Jean did an amazing job. She told me last week, I hate being an MC. Yet look at this. She killed it tonight. Give it up for Jean as our MC tonight. What an amazing, amazing job. Thank you, Jean.
Thank you. Thank you. So much fun tonight. I'm looking forward to next week. Woo-hoo. Great to see everyone tonight. And great to not see a few people, right? Thanks, Sam. I won't quit my day job. Yes, much better than TV.